Hi, I am Diana.
And I am Majo.
We're going to tell you a little about four historical periods in art: the Renaissance, Baroque, Romanticism, and Realism. And we'll delve into a work of Romanticism.
Art has been a fundamental form of human expression throughout history, reflecting the ideas, values, and emotions of each era. We cover the Renaissance, Baroque, Romantic, and Realist periods. The Renaissance was an artistic movement that emerged in Italy in the 14th century and spread throughout Europe. Baroque emerged in Europe in the 17th century, Romanticism emerged in Europe in the 18th century, Realism also emerged but the 19th century. Each of the artist periods has contributed significantly to humanly rich culture, diversity, and continues to influence contemporary art and culture.
Timeline. The Renaissance was characterized by a renewed interest in classical Greek and Roman culture, the development of innovative artistic techniques such as perspective and sfumato, the creation of masterpieces such as Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa and Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. His legacy can be observed in painting, sculpture, architecture. Um, Artists of this era is Donatello, Sandro Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Miguel Angel, Rafael Sanzio.
Um, the Baroque period was characterized by a dramatic and emotional style with intensive use of light and shadow. The creation of masterpieces such as the paintings of Caravaggio and Rembrandt. The development of Baroque architecture with buildings such as Peter's Basilica in Rome. Um, the Baroque it became a powerful tool to reform the Catholic faith and attract the faithful again. The artist is a Caravaggio, Peter Paul Rubens, Diego Velázquez, and Lorenzo Bernini.
Mm, Romanticism was characterized by an emphasis on emotion and imagination rather than reason and logic, an interest in nature and the beauty of the landscape, the creation of masterpieces such as the painting of G.M.W. Turner and the sculpture of Francisco de Goya, the Romanticism emphasis of the exaltation of emotion and feeling about reason and logic. Artists is Eugene Delacroix, John Constable, and Francisco de Goya.
And realism was characterized by an emphasis on the objective and detailed representation of reality, and interest in everyday life and the human condition. The creation of masterpieces such as the paintings of Gustave Courbet and the sculptures of Jean Francois Millet. Um, the realism explicit rejection of romantic idealism and its commitment to the objective and truthful representation of everyday reality. The artist is Gustave Courbet, Honoré Daumier, and Edouard Manet.
Yes. In your opinion, which period of history was the most important?
I think that was the Romantics because this period was a time when artists broke with routine and classical painting, no longer drawing and commission, but rather drawing for themselves and from their own way of thinking and feeling. It was a revolution of emotion and ideals. But what do you think?
Well, I think that started in the Baroque period. Several artists were already beginning to rebel against the clergy, such as Caravaggio. He didn't respect the cleanliness of religious images, which was the most common form of painting at the time. He used marginalized people or even worldly people as models for his religious commissions. From the on, the change began to be seen. They no longer wanted to paint only for the church. They began to paint society represented in dark and ochre colors, showing that side that no one wanted to see, but just as that artistic revolution erupted in Romanticism, and I agree with you. I consider it the most important.
We have chosen a work from this period, from Romanticism to further analyze the work of this era. The work is Saturn devouring his son. We face one of the most disturbing and fascinating works of the master Francisco de Goya, Saturn devouring his son. An image that, even today, almost 2 centuries after its creation, continues to sink into our cycle with an inescapable force.
The greatness of this work doesn't not lie only in its dark theme. It also resides in its brick with the aesthetic convention of the time. The brush stroke is free, pasty, almost white. There is no search for idealized beauty for formal perfection. There is an urgency and need to express a crude and painful truth without filters of ornaments. In this sense, Goya is ahead of his time, anticipating the anguish and formal exploration of modern art.
The color palette in Saturn devouring his son is austere and deliberately gloomy. Dark and earthy tones predominate. Deep blacks that envelop the scene and define the figure of Saturn. Ochres and browns that suggest darkness, earth, and feeling of antiquity or deterioration. The touches of colors are scarce but intense and strategic. The dirty yellowish white of the child's flesh highlights his pallors and vulnerability, creating a shocking contrast with the surrounding darkness. The blonde red that hints at blood and violence and visceral and disturbing note.
The absence of bright or saturated colors contributes to the oppressive and distressing atmosphere of the work. Color is not used to beauty or idealism, but to intensify the feeling of horror and despair. The like in Saturn devouring his son is dramatic and not naturalistic. There is no definite light source that illuminates the scene realistically. Instead, the light seems to emanate from the chill on figure, highlighting his pallor and making him the central focus of attention despite his horrible situation.
Yes, the light is not used to create volume or depth in the traditional way, but rather to focus attention and amplify the emotional impact of the scene. The predominant darkness contributes to the oppressive and claustrophobic atmosphere. Saturn, devouring his son, is not an easy work to contemplate. It confronts us with the darkness of ourselves with violence, fear, and despair. But it is precisely is that confrontation that lies it straight. Its ability to last over time and continue to resonate with each new generation. It is a silent cry of a tormented artist, a visceral testimony of the fragility and brutality of existence.
A work that forces us to ask ourselves what fears consume us, what innocents are we willing to sacrifice in the name of power of survival. Goya doesn't give you easy answers. It only offers you this dark and disturbing mirror, inviting you to look deeply into its reflections.
Yes, the painting leaves you with a lot of things about and reflect on, but well, this is as far as we go. Thank you for watching.
Bye.